we will move on to H2020 funding, the UK and Brexit. So, the basics. The referendum on the UK's membership of the EU took place on 23rd of June 2016. I'm sure you're all familiar. Article 50 was in vote on the 29th of March a year later, and that started a negotiation period of 2 years. Now, something which I'd really like to emphasise is that the UK is still an EU member state and continues to be so until the formal exit. So this means it has the same rights and obligation as all other 27 member states, including the participation in EU funding programmes. So nothing has actually changed. The exact details on how the UK can participate after the UK exits the EU will be determined during negotiations, and the government's priority continues to be ensuring the withdrawal agreement is ratified. Now, obviously, there is a lot of uncertainty at the moment, so I won't be able to answer all of your Brexit questions, I'm sure, but hopefully I can reassure you about the effects on H2020 funding. So, the withdrawal agreement, what would it mean for H2020? It basically means that UK participation in H2020 would continue completely uninterrupted if the withdrawal agreement is ratified. So if there is a deal, we would not be a member state or an associated country. Special category not used before, but we would be treated like a member state for H2020. There would be no need to negotiate having an associated country agreement. We would then immediately start discussions on associated country status for Horizon Europe. But as far as we're concerned, the withdrawal agreement is approved, then everything stays at H2020. No need to change anything, and yeah, get your proposals submitted. Now, in a no-deal scenario, we've got two guarantees which I want to bring your attention to. We've got the Underwrite Guarantee, and this is the government's commitment to underwrite EU funding for all successful UK bids submitted before exit, even if they are notified of their success after exit, for the lifetime of the projects. So this would apply to Societal Challenge 6 bids. The deadline is the 14th of March, as I'm sure you know, which is 2 weeks before proposed exit. So all these proposals will be considered under this Underwrite Guarantee. This is only relevant in a no-deal scenario. As mentioned before, if the withdrawal agreement is agreed, then everything stays as it is. The second guarantee is the post-EU exit guarantee extension. Again, this is only in a no-deal scenario, and this means the UK government would enable the UK to participate in EU calls open to third country participants from the date of exit until the end of 2020. And this guarantee would cover the lifetime of the projects, even if these last beyond 2020. So just a slight change to eligibility, but again, this would apply for Societal Challenge 6 proposals submitted to the 2020 topics, so not the topics that we've discussed today. The advice for UK applicants is that there's no change to peer review. The guidance from the Commission is that experts should not evaluate proposals with UK participants any differently to before. So, sorry, I stumbled over my words earlier because I wanted to talk about this. When talking about the Societal Challenge 6 proposals being submitted, so your proposals will be evaluated exactly the same as before. Evaluation will continue to be the same. There's no special sections on Brexit in the proposal or the granting stage. And until the UK leaves the EU law continues to apply. So this is just a reiteration of what we said at the beginning, that UK legal entities continue to be eligible to fully participate and receive funding in H2020 actions up until the exit. One thing that it is worth commenting on is that the eligibility criteria must be complied with for the entire duration of the grant. So you may decide to increase the number of participants in your proposals if you are currently at the minimum threshold of 3 for an RIA or an IA. This is generally advised anyway in case one of the participants is found to be ineligible for another reason. I would say don't add participants for the sake of it. It's not worth bringing the quality of your proposal down. Any participants added should really be fully embedded in the proposal, should be contributing fully to the proposal, and the benefits to the proposal of that participation should be clear. Another thing that has come up is if you're only reaching the minimum criteria of these topics, is your proposal going to be the most competitive it could be? EU funding is notoriously competitive, and really to give yourself the best chance, I would say we shouldn't just be scraping over the eligibility criteria. It should be really exceeding those expectations. But yes, of course, just making sure that participants add to the proposal. One final thing I wanted to flag was the UKRI portal. This is for current UK recipients of H2020 funding, and it is to ensure that UKRI can keep UK researchers and businesses informed of the next steps in case of a no deal. So it's only in the case of a no deal. It would not be used in the case that the withdrawal agreement is ratified. This also covers UK researchers involved in Euratom research and training projects or any ongoing Framework Programme 7 projects. It needs to be done for each project. There's a link there, and if you do have any questions about this, please get in contact and I can direct you to the right people to talk to. Okay, useful links is the UKRO Brexit fact sheet. This is regularly updated. I would really recommend checking this. They do such a good job of tidily and succinctly summarising everything that is happening. It's always up to date. So do keep this link in your favourites. A couple of other useful links there, especially the UK government overview of UK participation in H2020. And I also want to draw your attention to the email address at the bottom of this. This is for the Department for Business, Energy and Industrial Strategy. If you have any questions, concerns, experiences, case studies that you wish to flag, please send them here. Please do copy me in. I'd really like to be kept up to date on what questions you're asking, what is concerning you, as well as any success stories or anything that you wish to share. But if you have anything you wish to flag, please send them to that email address. So thank you again, and good luck.